You know that moment late at night when your mind refuses to let you rest. You pray, you breathe deeply, and you tell yourself to let it go. Yet your thoughts keep circling the same worries over and over again. You have already prayed about this more than once. You have asked God for peace, but instead your mind keeps picking the problem back up, like it cannot help itself. And somewhere inside you wonder, why is this not working? What am I missing? Am I doing something wrong spiritually? You try to trust God, yet your thoughts feel louder than your faith. But there is a reason your mind feels this way, and there is a powerful verse hidden in Scripture that speaks directly to this battle. A verse that is not just comforting, but actually disrupts the cycle of overthinking itself. And once you understand it, something begins to shift inside you. Overthinking feels heavy because it traps you in a cycle that seems to have no exit. You replay every decision. You worry about what might happen. You assume God is silent because you cannot feel peace in the moment. Many believers begin to think that their struggle with overthinking means they lack faith. They wonder if a stronger Christian would not be battling these thoughts. And when people offer quick advice like just pray more or simply trust God, it can make you feel even more alone, as if peace should come instantly, and if it does not, something must be wrong with you. But that is not the truth. The mind is powerful and sensitive, and it often reacts to stress before our spirit has a chance to settle. Overthinking does not make you spiritually weak, it makes you human. Countless believers across generations have wrestled with the same mental storms. You are not failing because you struggle. You are simply facing what many others have faced, and God understands that completely. He meets you in the battle, not after you have figured everything out. When you look at Scripture, you find that some of the strongest voices in the Bible wrestled with the very same mental battles you face. David poured out his anxious thoughts again and again in the Psalms. In Psalm 40 verse 3, he speaks of God lifting him out of a pit, which tells us he knew what it felt like to sink into overwhelming thoughts. The prophet Elijah reached a moment where fear and pressure clouded his mind so deeply that he could not see any hope ahead. Paul spoke openly about being pressed beyond his own strength and feeling unsettled in his spirit. These were not spiritually weak people. They were faithful servants of God who still faced seasons when their minds felt heavy and chaotic. Their struggles were written into Scripture so that you would never believe the lie that your overthinking means you have failed. God never asked his people to pretend they were calm. He asked them to bring the storm of their thoughts to him. Overthinking does not disqualify you. It invites you to experience the comfort and power of God in a deeper way. There is one verse that goes far deeper than most people realize. A verse many believers can quote, but few have ever fully unpacked. It is Philippians 4 verse 7. It speaks about the peace of God that goes beyond understanding and how that peace guards your heart and your mind. Most people hear this verse and think it is simply a comforting promise. But this verse is actually describing a spiritual intervention designed specifically for moments when your thoughts run out of control. It is not a gentle idea or a soft encouragement. It is a blueprint for how God deals with the mental battles you face. When you understand what this verse is truly saying, you begin to see that God never expected you to silence your thoughts on your own. He planned to guard your mind long before you ever struggled with overthinking. This is not a cliche. This is a strategy straight from Scripture, and it changes everything. When Paul writes about the peace of God in Philippians 4 verse 7, he is not talking about a feeling that drifts into your life by accident. He is describing something active and deliberate. He says that the peace of God will guard your heart and your mind. Imagine a trained soldier standing at the doorway of your thoughts. Every anxious idea tries to rush in. Every worst-case scenario pushes forward. Every what-if thought demands attention. But the peace of God steps in front of them and says you cannot enter. This peace is not passive. It is protective. Paul also says that this peace goes beyond understanding. That means it does not wait for your situation to make sense. It does not wait for every fear to disappear. It does not depend on your reasoning or your ability to figure things out. Human understanding asks for explanations. God offers peace even when the explanation is missing. Many believers think this verse tells them to stop overthinking by their own effort. But the verse is doing something different. It is showing that God takes responsibility for guarding your mind. Your role is not to force your thoughts to behave. Your role is to bring everything to God with honesty and trust. When you bring your worries to Him, you create space for His peace to stand watch over you. This verse shifts the weight of the battle. You do not have to be your own protector. You do not have to keep your mind safe by your own strength. God steps into the place where your thoughts feel most fragile, and He covers you with a peace stronger than the storm inside you. This is why overthinking does not have the final say. The peace of God is already equipped to silence what your understanding cannot. To understand how powerful this verse truly is, you have to remember where Paul was when he wrote it. He was not sitting in comfort. He was not surrounded by calm. Paul wrote these words while living under pressure and uncertainty. He was confined and facing the possibility of death. Everything around him gave reasons to panic, yet he spoke about a peace that guards the mind. This means he was not sharing a theory. He was describing something he had experienced in the middle of hardship. Paul knew what it felt like to have thoughts that tried to run wild. He knew what it felt like to wonder about the future and face the unknown. And it was in that exact place that the peace of God met him. When you see the verse in its true context, you realize it was never written for peaceful days. It was written for moments just like yours when your thoughts feel louder than your faith, and you need God to step in and guard your mind. Here is a simple and repeatable way to let this verse shape your daily life. Think of it as a practice that teaches your mind to turn toward God instead of spiraling inward. Step 1. Name the thought. When overthinking begins, do not hide it. Say the thought out loud to God. Tell Him exactly what is racing through your mind. This opens the door for His peace to begin guarding you. Step 2. Surrender the outcome. Say to God, "This is bigger than me, and I place it in your hands." This step removes the pressure to figure everything out. It reminds your mind that you are not meant to carry the full weight of the situation. Step 3. Ask for peace to guard you. Use the language Paul gives. Say, "God, let your peace guard my heart and my mind." You are inviting a divine protector to stand at the doorway of your thoughts. Step 4. Redirect your focus. Paul teaches, just after this verse, to think about what is true and good. When your mind tries to circle back to worry, gently shift your attention toward gratitude or toward a promise from Scripture. Step 5. Repeat this often. This is not a one-time practice. Your mind may try to return to old patterns, but every time you walk through these steps, you strengthen a new spiritual response. Over time, the cycle of overthinking weakens because you are no longer feeding it. You are feeding peace instead. This method does not demand perfection. It simply trains your mind to move toward the God who guards you. Each time you do it, you make space for His peace to take its rightful place in your thoughts. You may not feel a dramatic shift the first time you practice this. God often works like the sunrise. His peace grows brighter little by little, until suddenly you notice the heaviness has lifted. Think of it like planting a seed. You water it day after day, even before you see anything breaking through the soil. Or imagine training a muscle. Strength comes from repetition, not from a single moment of effort. In the same way, the practice of naming your thoughts, surrendering them, inviting God's peace, and redirecting your focus creates slow but steady change. Do not judge yourself if you still feel anxious at times. That does not mean God is distant. It means the process is unfolding. Some days the peace may feel strong. Other days it may feel faint. But both days are part of the same transformation. God is shaping your mind gradually and gently, and He never rushes the healing He is giving you. When the overthinking returns, and it will at times, do not let that moment convince you that you are starting over. Even Jesus faced repeated attacks from the enemy in the wilderness. The return of the struggle does not mean you failed. It means the battle is real and your growth is real too. When the thoughts come back, pause and walk through the same steps again. Name the thought. Surrender the outcome. Ask for peace to guard you. Redirect your focus. Think of it like breathing. You do not breathe once and call it finished. You breathe continually because life requires it. In the same way, guarding your mind is a rhythm, not a one-time achievement. Every time you return to God in the middle of your thoughts, you are training your spirit to lean on Him instead of your own strength. Over time, the thoughts lose their power because you no longer let them lead you. You let God lead you instead. I have walked through seasons where my mind felt like it would not stop racing. I prayed, yet the worries kept looping. I tried to reason with my thoughts, yet they found new ways to circle back. But when I finally began practicing what Paul describes in Philippians 4 verse 7, something changed. Not instantly, but steadily. Each time I named the thought and surrendered it, I felt the weight loosen just a little. Each time I asked God to guard my mind, I sensed a calm that did not come from understanding the situation, but from knowing I was not facing it alone. And with time, the cycle of overthinking lost the grip it once had. The situation did not always change quickly, but my mind did. That is the power of God's peace. It does not wait for life to settle before it begins working. It meets you in the storm and teaches your heart how to rest, even while the winds are still blowing. Here is your challenge for this week. Choose one specific worry that has been circling in your mind. Just one. Write it down and bring it to God every day for 7 days. Each time you do, say, God, I place this thought into your hands. Let your peace guard my heart and my mind. Then take 1 minute to redirect your focus towards something true and good, maybe a promise from Scripture or something you are grateful for. Do this daily and watch how the weight of that thought slowly begins to lose its hold on you. God will meet you in the practice. His peace is already prepared for you. You only need to make room for it. Before you go, take a moment to write the verse that spoke to you the most in the comments. Your words might be exactly what another believer needs to hear today. If this message helped you, I invite you to like this video and subscribe, so more people can find the peace God offers. We are learning and growing together, and your voice matters in this community. May the peace of God surround you. May He guard your heart and your mind with strength deeper than understanding. You are not fighting alone. God is with you, and He will carry you through.